Welcome, everybody, to All Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, get over to Fatty Beer. Let them know we over here at Two Goalies and Mike sent you. Celebrate a Sabres win, watch a Sabres game, pregame for a Sabres game. I mean, honestly, just go there just save for the Sabres. Just go there for the Sabres and tell them we sent you. This team is so fucking cool. And then, of course, our sponsors over at Extreme Discount Mattress, Western New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds, featuring the cool gel memory foam, two-sided mattresses, tele-latex, organic mattresses, Chadman Wells, and of course Scott Living, all for 1/3 to a half the supposed sale prices anywhere. Stop in at their 7 locations across Western New York or check out their website, extrememattress.com. That is extreme with an X. If you're looking for more savings, check out their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga, up to 80% off their already low prices. Save a fortune on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. And remember, if you mention you are a fan of Two Goalies, One Mike, you get yourself a free mattress protector with any purchase of a mattress. So please make sure you mention us. You need a mattress and save some more. So, Hurls, before I'm sure you heard some new music. I'm sure you noticed that when we started the show for our intro, because we are officially monetized on the YouTube channel. We reached the threshold. So there's a super chat involved. I think it's, I don't know for sure. I'm not looking at the chat right now. I did accept, we were approved by YouTube and I accepted it. I don't know if I had to do anything else further than that. So I might be completely lying right now. And it is not a super chat. I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the chat if anything has changed for you guys, because I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of hard work put in by us and a lot of hard work and late nights with you guys in the chat to make that happen. And I couldn't appreciate it more. So a couple clicks to all of you for helping us get to where we are. And this is just as much our accomplishment, or your accomplishment, as it is ours. So I couldn't appreciate it more. Hurls, the Sabres have not given up a goal on this road trip. That is insane.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping it going on Saturday at Crypto.com Arena in downtown LA. I'll be there along with, it's looking like thousands of other Sabres fans. And especially,
is it really going to be that much?
I think it will be for sure. And the way the road trip has started, I think it's potentially going to be even more. How could you not want to see this team in person? There's a ton of Western New York, Southern Ontario expats out here, and it's going to be an incredible atmosphere in downtown LA on Saturday afternoon game. We have a heat wave right now. It's been like 85, 90 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. I know of at least 3 different bars people have talked about meeting up at as early as 11 a.m. on Saturday. So the atmosphere is going to be amazing. Hopefully we can keep the shutout streak going. But yeah, it's just an example of how this team can win in a variety of different ways tonight. They had 16 shots on goal, and they scored on 5 of them after being shut out in the first period. 3 goals in a span of less than 5 minutes in the second period. And Alex Lyon locked it down, especially in the first period on some high danger chances. Across the crease. 10 straight games. I think 10 straight games on the road with either a point or a win for Alex Lyon. And I think he's the 5th.
No, he's on a 10. He is on a 10-game road winning streak. Sure. Yeah. I could be wrong. I again, AI told me that a couple days ago, but
I think I saw someone post it as well. And I think
if he gets one more,
I think he's the 5th goalie in NHL history to do it.
If he gets one more, he ties the NHL record with Evgeny Nabokov, who did it in 2010, and Devin Dubnyk, who did it in 2015.
And it's looking like he will get the start in Anaheim, which I will also be there for. So hopefully we can witness history in person.
That'd be awesome, right? And I couldn't be more excited for this fucking hockey team, dude. Like, it's literally insane. It's literally insane that we're like, it's that living embodiment of the LeBron meme. It's I can't believe this is my life. You have guys like Sam Carrick, and we're just going to call him Ricky Stanicki. You have to watch that movie, by the way, so please make sure you do. to understand the reference. But like Ricky Stanicki is just a fan favorite. It's incredible. The guy scores, he hits, he fights, and you know, even the second goal was hilarious. We all thought Logan Stanley might have had his first as a Sabre. He did get his first point as a Sabre tonight with an assist, but little pinball action, deflects off Carrick into the net, like Malenstein throwing the body everywhere. You have Logan Stanley having, you know, I mean, all but one game, I think he's played pretty well. You know, obviously when he was paired with Luke Shen, obviously things didn't look great. Zach Metza again, on the ice for a few goals tonight. Just literally, man, this team is just like it's fucking unbelievable. You have thousands of Sabres fans staying up till 12:30 in the morning to watch a 10 o'clock start hockey game. When is the last time we could say that, Hurls?
It's been a long time, probably not in the social media era, that's for sure. I think it's been a while since fans, especially for games as late as this for you guys on the East Coast, to actually be not only tuned in, but involved, part of the conversation, especially online. Like, this is the most amount of people talking online during a Sabres game on the West Coast that I've seen since I've been out here, and that's 11 years, which is just under the length of the drought. In terms of, you can't believe this is happening, any like NHL pundits and different accounts that cover the league just generally are obviously starting to notice, but I think they're they have that type of sentiment that you just said. One of my favorite follows on Twitter, it's NHL Watcher. They post a lot of clips around the league. They said Sabres fans must be pinching themselves nonstop these days. Like, is this real? Is this actually happening? And I think that's something we can all fully appreciate in this moment. It's getting to the point of absurdity. The theater of the absurd what this group is accomplishing. And I even thought tonight was a potential letdown spot after getting to first place in the East on St. Patrick's Day, coming out of Vegas. There's a crazy stat of teams since Vegas has been in the league, before and after games, what their in Vegas, what their record is. And I think it's probably related to all of the entertainment options there and a potential Vegas hangover of sorts. So I was a little bit concerned tonight. I wasn't sure if they would be able to withstand that level of production and pace with a young upstart group like the San Jose Sharks, who've been really good at home and are fighting for a playoff spot. And while they may not have been on the right side of the deserve to win-o-meter, the famous deserve to win-o-meter that we all know from the drought and how many times they were on the right side of that and lost, doesn't matter because they scored the goals, they prevented them, they got a 5-0 win. That's mercy. Turn off the controller, San Jose Sharks.
I love this chat, the Ric Flair reference from Mauricio. Ooh, I can't keep these alligators down. Jet flying, limousine riding, one son of a gun. Duane explained me to switching Benson and Krebs always. Train. Oh, you mean you're almost there. You're almost
so
there.
Close. So close.
Yeah, you're so close. But whatever, man. It's fine. Here's a fun stat. This came from at Sabres Stats on Twitter. Okay, this one blows my mind. The Sabres are 32-6-2 in their last 40 games.
Points in 34 of their last 40, which is one game under half the season at this point. That's how long this warpath, this run since December 9th is. Half the season. So if you thought it was a fluke, you thought they couldn't sustain it, just look at how long it's spanned relative to the entire season. It's insane.
Yeah. From Real Deal Primer here. Goaltender, can I have the next start? I need another donut. Okay, a donut. Back-to-back shutouts, man. I mean, it's been a long time since I think we've seen that. Alex Tuch getting his 30th assist tonight. Tage Thompson, another 35-goal season in the books, locked in. Probably going to get 40 this season. You have to imagine, man, had they not been dealing with all the injuries early, like to start the season, you wonder like when this heater would have started. You know, it's kind of funny. It all kind of started after that picture was taken of UPL downtown.
Yeah, a couple weeks
galvanize the boys or something, man.
Thanksgiving Eve. Even the games I saw over Thanksgiving break, though, you could see signs that this team was starting to figure out in terms of the style of play that they wanted to play, whether it be Lindy's system or playing for each other or the brotherhood that they talk about. It takes, I mean, there were a few new additions to the group, and it does take some time to get into a rhythm and get to know each other. In those first couple of months, obviously, as you mentioned, there was a lot of hardship. There was a lot of adversity, especially with their captain. So to come together in the way that they have is pretty amazing. Another stat from Sabres Stats, players with 4 or more 35-plus goal seasons for the Sabres. Rick Martin with 7, Gilbert Perreault with 6, Dave Anderchuk with 5, Danny Gare with 4, and now Tage Thompson with 4. That is a pretty
crazy.
Damn good list to be on if you're
100%. 100%. I love this from Neil. Zach Metza, even strength, 21 goals, even-handed.
I like even-handed. I haven't heard that before.
I'm sure that must mean even strength. 21 goals for, only 2 goals against. For a kid who's 5'9", rookie, no one thought he would still be playing this late into the season unless the season went off the rails and you just want to see what he was made of, maybe.
For the deep analytics stat nerds out there, there's a stat called PDO, which kind of accounts for puck luck. It's the way in which analytics departments kind of account for what's true and what's false. And it represents on-ice shooting percentage and on-ice save percentage added together, essentially. And Zach Metza has the best PDO of like any player in the last 20 years or something. He's essentially the Sabres' good luck charm. He's played really well, of course, but he's been somewhat sheltered in his minutes. I think they're increasing over the past couple of games. I want to go back and look at that to make sure. But he has been a little bit lucky, and I think you can say that and look at it in a way that he's putting himself in good positions. He's not making mistakes. He's very calm with the puck. They even notated that on the broadcast tonight. I think Rob Ray or Dan Dunleavy specifically pointed out how he waits for his teammates to get into the right position and he puts the puck on their stick. So maybe a little bit of luck, but he's also playing really well.
Yeah, and like you watch these games. It's so hard to find somebody to criticize. Even like Jack Quinn is playing well enough for you to not notice him in a negative way.
15 minutes for Zach Metza tonight. That 15? Is, I think, a season high.
That might be, yeah. I think it might be. Kind of helps when you're up 4-0. You probably got some more minutes in the third.
7 of the past. It is a season high, and 7 of the past 8 games he's over 10 minutes, which was uncommon in his first few games and every game for this season. And 2 of the past 3 games he's over 15 and a half minutes. So that third pairing, I think he was with Logan Stanley again tonight, if I'm not mistaken. They got their not Lions share, but they are getting more minutes than they had previously. So Metza had 15, Stanley had 18. Wow. And then Byram had 24, Dahlin had 19. Interesting. Byram had a significant amount more than anybody else. But this is important going into the playoffs that those top 4 are not playing 23 plus minutes each per night.
Yeah, it's true. From Mauricio. Hurls, did you hear heat wave in SoCal? Perfect timing for pool party. I'll bring the harem tank to Sabres. It's been a while since he's asked you about your pool party, so
I honestly, as hot as it is out here right now, it's the first time it's been relevant like during the Sabres season in a really long time. So
yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah, trust me, I missed the net, Quinn 22. I wish we could. If there weren't so many comments, yeah, I do my best to show all the comments during the show so you guys all can at least be heard. But if I interacted with every single comment, we wouldn't actually be able to do the show. I don't think so. Listen, dude, like Alex Lyon, that save he made where he stretched the pad out, kind of did the splits. As a goalie, man, did you watch that and did it kind of hurt watching it? Because it's like, they're pushing. He's in a split, kind of like that. Like it hurt.
I was a little worried for a second, to be honest, especially the compromise.
He got up slow
position that he was in. I will say though, and it's something I learned when I got new leg pads this past summer. The way in which leg pads are made now allows the foot in the boot of the skate to extend farther than it had previously. And if you saw the overhead angle, his skate was effectively out of the foot channel of the pad, and he was able to extend his skate much farther than the length of the leg pad, which is really important in those situations, especially when you're down on the other end of the crease and you need to get over as far as possible. And also that allows you to extend your leg a little bit farther and be in a more a better plyometric position, if you will. So I think that's really important in terms of the technology of goalie equipment these days. And obviously he's in incredibly good shape and extremely flexible, especially for his age, way more flexible than I am at right around the same age. And I give him all the credit in the world for taking care of his body in the way in which he has and being able to be in those positions and make a save like that.
We have over 100 people on YouTube watching right now, and it's almost 1:00 in the morning on the East Coast. Insane. That's nuts.
After hours.
Play Ellis Saturday and go for the turkey shutout. No.
Nope. That would be funny.
And that's not a shot against Ellis. You don't steer away from a good thing.
I think once they get into a more comfortable position standings wise, I think he's going to play some games down the stretch to keep the guys fresh. But no, I think with the way that they're going right now, I think they'll keep him.
We are 4 more wins away from hitting the 100-point mark. When is the last time this team had 100 points in a season? Can somebody look that up? Was it 06, 07, or it might have been 2009 or 2010 or it was one of those seasons. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it has been since 06, 07. I'm looking right now. Yeah, it was 2009, 2010, 100 points.
2000. Okay, I thought so.
The season before the last time they were in the playoffs, which was 2010, 2011, 2009, 2010, 100, and then 2006, 2007 President's Trophy, 113. Season before 05, 06, 110. I was thinking earlier when I was looking at the standings, and
what's the franchise record for most points in a season?
All right, we're getting deep here. 113 it is, and that tied 1974, 1975, which was the Stanley Cup. I think they lost in the Stanley Cup final to the Flyers. Yeah.
From here, as Doyle, Zach Metsa deserves to be the 5th defenseman. It's hard to argue that right now with the way he's playing. It's hard to argue that right now. And, you have guys nipping to get in this lineup like Michael Kesselring, and who, in my opinion, wasn't playing all that bad when he was taken out. But it's hard to deny that Zach Metsa has earned his position on his team until he loses it. And I think Lindy has recognized that. It's why he's in this lineup. It's why he's in this lineup over Luke Schenn. It's why he's in this lineup over Michael Kesselring. Like, his play is probably a big reason why they felt comfortable trading Jacob Bryson, who's been like a mainstay as a 7th defenseman now for how many years?
Someone said Zach Metsa should be the 4th defenseman over Power.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely not.
Even though I will say when he's been asked to play in that top 4, he hasn't played bad.
I think Owen Power could win a Norris Trophy, and half of this fan base would still find some way to criticize him. I really do believe that.
You might. I don't think you're wrong. So, and we've been pretty critical of him on this show plenty of times, but
and deservedly so sometimes.
Yeah.
But
at
the end of the day, he's vastly improved this season, and no one can say that. No one can say the opposite with a straight face. Like, there is an objective improvement in his game throughout the course of this season, and that top 4 specifically, Byron, Dahlin, Samuelson, and Power, have been the backbone of this team, along with the goaltending, working in conjunction with each other. So to go out of your way to criticize a guy like that, who's had some early season struggles, facing the pressure of being the number 1 overall pick and getting that contract really early in his career, and putting his head down and going to work in the way in which he has, I find it to be erroneous, to be honest. I think it's out of line and pretty stupid. And I think that some of that chatter is just chatter just to chirp for no reason. I just don't think it's warranted. And if you continue to do it, you're just a troll.
So here's a couple tweets in a row. Sam Carrick in his first 7 games with the Sabres, 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points, a +3, 10 shots, over 60% in the faceoff dot, 11 hits, 4 blocks, averaging 11 minutes of time on ice. And then the next follow-up tweet. The Sabres are going to enter the playoffs as a 1 seed before the Josh Allen Bills do?
Yeah, potentially. It's obviously a distinct possibility tied with the Canes for points at the moment. They still have a game in hand. I think they're probably going to go for it. Like, why would you not? Right? Like, I think it's well within reach, and being in that position to play the second wild card team, I think there would be a distinct advantage there. So yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility whatsoever.
From one of our producers, Jeff Hastley, 6 teams in the East have 83 or 84 points, could be in or out of the playoffs in the last week of the season. I mean, I think like puck luck or whatever, money puck or whatever the thing is, says we have like a 99.8% chance of making the playoffs, but nothing's certain until it's certain, right? So,
Yeah.
it would take, they would lose every game the rest of the way to not make the playoffs at this point.
For sure. I think they're at 92 right now. That is typically the threshold of the final wild card spot in recent years. Of course, I don't think anybody thinks that that's what they're going to end up with. So comfortably, we can say that the drought will be over. And I think we've known that for almost a month at this point.
Yeah.
Another model that I think is really reputable is hockeystats.com has given us a 100% chance since I think over the weekend. So I think you can take that, put it under your pillow, sleep confidently knowing that this team is going to make the playoffs. And now it's just not making the playoffs. It's getting into the best position possible to win as many rounds as possible. I think they can grab hold of this momentum and take it into the playoffs as one of the distinct threats in the Stanley Cup playoffs, not just in the Eastern Conference, but the Western Conference. I heard a Canadiens fan today saying that the team that they would like to play the least is the Buffalo Sabres. And hearing that another fan base would not want to play the Sabres is a really jarring thing to hear out loud. But I think that is how people around the league feel right now.
Yeah, they're the most exciting team in hockey. And honestly, like we hear a lot of local podcasts talk about them, including ourselves, but like I still don't think the Sabres are getting enough fucking credit nationally. Like, what's Chaos Show? They'll talk about us.
Yeah,
our buddies over at Daily Face Off with the Morning Cup of Hockey with Johnny
Chicklets has though, like they've been on, I think, at least for a couple months.
I just don't think we're getting enough respect.
It's hard to see everything, and I think that all that really matters is the people that have been there and have been through this, right? Like people that are just jumping on the bandwagon now or just noticing haven't really been aware of the building blocks that have been here for a few years now. So I don't necessarily care what the national conversation is. I think that all that matters is the guys in this room and all of us who have been here through the mud, have been here through the dirt, knowing what it has taken to get to this point, and we can all celebrate it and appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, and yes, I do think the Sabres are going to make the playoffs, miss the next one. I think we're really far behind on comments, actually. We have already over like 200 and 250 comments in the chat again at 1:03 in the morning. You guys are fucking lunatics, and I love it. That's incredible. I feel pretty humbled. And it took this long into the season to feel that way, knowing that you guys are all staying up this late. And
Here's another good one. I'm impressed at how invisible they made Celebrini seem. For the second time in 2 weeks,
yep,
they made Celebrini seem invisible. I think he had one shot, one goal in that first game last week in Buffalo. Tonight, he had one shot, 22 minutes of ice time, 0 goals, 0 assists. I remember the one shot that he had. It was a nice move, very Celebrini-esque, getting into the slot and getting a shot off. Really good save by Alex Lyon. But I think they had, I mean, as you have to, looking at the stats of the San Jose Sharks, I'm wondering if it's as crazy as it was last week. But Celebrini has 95 points in 66 games. He has 50 more points than the person with the second most points on the team, which is Will Smith. 50 more. Which is just incredible. So insane.
I think it's either him or McDavid. I don't really. I think it's a 2-man race.
That might be one of the biggest point disparities on any given team in a really, really long time. So if you're the Sabres, obviously you got to take away that guy. You let anyone else on that team beat you, and I think they did a really, really good job of keying in on him these past 2 games. And it's something they're going to need to do in the playoffs too, because Celebrini's not the only guy that can be a game wrecker.
I do want to ask this question. We've talked about a lot in the past. Is this when the Sabres get back? Airport game, airport trip.
Yeah, it could be.
I think we should. I think it should be.
Yeah,
I think it should be.
If people
If
want to
are
go,
willing to
by
go,
all
I'll be
means.
there.
Yeah, by all means. Start the trend. I think it'd be cool, and I think it would show the guys how much everybody appreciates what they're doing and the significance of a run like this. I think it'd be really cool, and they would appreciate it.
I think we're gonna start it here at 1:05 in the morning here on the East Coast. It's what is it? 10:05 there for you?
It is 10:05, correct.
For you lucky fuck. Even you kind of know what it's like to be me now at this point, but I mean, it's I envy your time difference. I will say that.
West Coast sport times are the best.
That's a beautiful thing.
The March Madness game started today at 9:15, and the 9:15 a.m. and the final March Madness game just ended about 20 minutes ago. It is one of my favorite things of living out here in the past 10.5 years and usually I try to get home by 4 from work, and that's when the Sabres game usually starts on the East Coast. It is really, really nice. And then Saturday, another example, a 1 p.m. puck drop.
Another comment here from the J-Man 629. Any guesses on playoff ticket prices? I heard season ticket holders are already putting their tickets up for sale. Even though it hasn't been made official, online for $300 in the nosebleeds per ticket, which honestly is not bad in my opinion. If you just want to be in the building, $300 isn't bad.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's pretty good. Actually, that's way less than I was expecting, to be honest. I gotta keep an eye on that, as I will be home in a little less than a month now. So super stoked, and we'll see what happens. But I imagine that price is going to go up a little bit.
I think you're right too, and it might not be a bad idea to really start looking into ticket prices. Again, I just care about being in the building. I don't really care where I sit personally. I'm fine with sitting against a back wall somewhere. I don't care, whatever.
I would almost prefer it like that.
I love seeing the whole ice.
Is one of the coolest places to be, with all the signs. You could bring a different sign and put it up there. I think that's where the true character is, and it's a great view of the game as well. I'm excited to be in the 100 level for Saturday, being close and being loud and hopefully tangibly affecting the game is also really cool. But that last throw of the 300s, or anywhere in the 300s for that matter, I think is not a bad seat whatsoever.
Yeah. Here's I'm going to the party in the plaza with an 18 pack in the backpack. Man, that brings back memories. That
reminds me.
Back then we were cheap, so we were what was that cheap? Keystones.
Yeah.
18 pack of Stones. Cheapest beer you can get was pretty much water. But we used to drink Keystone back then.
That reminds me of Thursday in the Square back in the day.
Those were good days.
The
food truck Tuesday or food truck there. I can't remember which one it was.
Taking the subway from Maine and Amherst in North Buffalo all the way downtown, completely packed, not a single person on that train, not drinking something out of a water bottle. Really, really good times back in Buffalo. And they speak in Niagara Square and Thursday in the Square and Party in the Plaza. Another video I came across today was the 2004 4th of July Goo Goo Dolls concert in the rain. I was actually on the way back from fireworks with my family, with my mom, my dad, my brother, and my grandma. And we were able to, the court building on the other side of Niagara Square, we were able to be under an awning. So we weren't getting soaked watching the concert, but we were able to see most of it, which is one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah.
Seeing those videos today, especially with Iris kind of going viral on TikTok and
just crazy. I love it.
90s nostalgia, which is really cool. It's one of the greatest songs of all time. But to see all that in conjunction with the Sabres doing what they're doing is really, really serendipitous.
Yeah. Turnover Stanley wants you to stay in California because you might jinx us.
I'm 2-0 in Buffalo at Sabres games this season. So
true.
That's true. Well, next question.
I'll remember the beer saber viral moment.
Yeah, next question.
But no, listen, it's now we're not just talking about when will they, if they'll clinch. It's about when, and we're having conversations like when they'll clinch the division. We're still 4 points ahead in the division, correct?
Yeah, they've got some games in hand though, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
doesn't matter if we just keep winning.
For sure. Lightning won again tonight in Vancouver, basically a minor league team. Points percentage wise, they're right there. So I think the division is going to come down to the end of the season. I think the Lightning have had a little bit of a lull here, but knowing the guys on that group, knowing that goalie, knowing that coach, I think this is going to come down to game 82 for the Atlantic Division. And I think that could be good for the Sabres to keep the sword sharp, if you will, going into the playoffs.
Agreed. I wonder if they'll do the beer Sabres again for the playoffs. You have to.
The demand will be very, very high.
Oh my God.
I'm hoping they're planning for it. I am very thankful to have mine still. It is being kept safely in Buffalo upon my return. I'm hoping that they let old beer Sabres in the building. They did previously for the Islanders. No, I'm 3-0 this year, so even better. They did previously for the Islanders game I went to over Christmas break. So that'd be cool. If the entire 100 level holds up a beer saber when they score a goal in the playoffs, can you imagine how cool that would be?
Dude, what a picture. I just want them to bring back the pom-poms. That'd be so cool. They'll probably have shirts on every seat. They have to. You have to do some commemorative shirt for that first playoff game, no doubt. Honestly, if you really want to make these fans lose their fucking minds, they should wear the goat head whites the first home game.
Yeah, I don't think it's allowed, but it'd
be sick if it was.
It would be pretty amazing. I think just generally the NHL should switch back to home whites, but
I agree.
It's not going to happen anytime soon. They should switch back to the 1-8 format. Gary Bettman was defiant about said format earlier this week. He said nobody has a better first round in sports than the NHL playoffs. And my question to that is, are you prioritizing the first round, or are you prioritizing better matchups later in the playoffs, which I think everybody would want? The best two teams in the conference finals. He is stubborn. He's the worst, and I can't wait until we get rid of him.
Is the suffering over? I think it is. The infamous quote from Darcy Regier that this fan base will have to go through a little bit of suffering. Well, 14 years later, however many years later we are into that suffering, it's finally over. It's finally fucking over. And I'm just speechless. I really am. I never thought when the season started that here on March 20th or 21st, I think is it 20th right now or still 21st? I don't know.
19th for me, 20th for you guys.
Okay. I never thought in a fucking million years when the season started that I'd be up, because normally these late games, this is like a night off for us, right? Like, because it's I work in the morning, so it's like I gotta wake up. But like, how can we not do a post game? Like how? Like with how good this team is, we have. Last time I looked, we had 120. We have 106 people, consistently over 100 people watching with us, just on one of the many apps that you can watch, and it's fucking 1:13 in the morning, dude. It's 1:13 in the morning, and I know that's trying to put us on a pedestal. Like, oh, who cares? 100 people watching. That's a lot for a podcast on YouTube at 1:13 in the morning. I'm sorry if I keep pumping our own tires here, but I'm fucking proud of this hockey team, what we've done with this show this year, and all you people in the chat who have been with us since day one, and the people who have hopped on this bandwagon along the way. And again, you talk about all the time. We've seen new faces in the chat or new names in the chat, and like, you guys are awesome, and I can't wait to take this ride with you into the playoffs.
It's a seminal moment in the history of the franchise. They have 13 games remaining, 26 possible points. That could get them to, if my math is not mistaken, 118 points, which would break the franchise record by 5 points. They only need 114 to do it. 53 wins is what that 06-07 team had. 53, 22, and 7. Sabres are currently 43, 20, and 6. So to get to 53, 22, and 7, they need to go 10-2-1 in their final 13 games. Going to be tough, especially if the games don't matter as much. I think they will, though, given what the Lightning are doing and how they're still there points percentage wise. But it is absolutely in the realm of possibility that this team could set a franchise record in points this season. 118 would be nuts.
It would be, man. I just, you look at the schedule and it's hard to find games where you're like, with the way they're playing right now, it's like they're gonna lose. No, I think they could. I think they can win every game the rest of the way of the season. I really do.
I mean, they can beat anybody at this point, and they've proven that for a long time now. Back home next week, 4-game homestand: Boston, Detroit, Seattle, New York. A few of those teams are fighting for the playoffs.
Detroit's dealing a lot of injuries right now.
I think all of them are actually fighting for the playoffs. So
yeah,
not necessarily going to be easy. And then you go to Ottawa and Washington on the road, quick trip, and then Tampa Bay at home for what will likely be one of the more entertaining games in recent Sabres history, recent Sabres memory. I saw tonight that's also going to be the Dingus Day celebration. So I can imagine that is going to be a very drunk game in relative Sabres lore. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the scenes from that.
According to Jimmy from also, part of our little staff of maniacs, they're on pace to go 10-3 in the last 13 games. I think we're gonna go 13-0.
I don't think 13-0 would be amazing. I think 10-2-1 is a distinct possibility, and that would ties the franchise record, which I think would be an incredible accomplishment for this group, especially the way that they started.
100%. Who is the team MVP?
Gosh,
that is a tough question.
A lot of options. I think, all things considered, on the ice, off the ice, everything that's happened this year, I'm going to go with Dahlin.
He's definitely in the conversation, no doubt.
I think it's just very, very much related to everything
what he's been through
to stay on this ice and be there for this team, and how, especially in the past 3.5 months, how absolutely sublime he has been. I think that he's raised his game to a level where it was last season when he was one of the top 5 defensemen in the NHL, and I think he's getting back to that point again, top 5, top 3. If I'm being perfectly honest, there's a lot of other people in the conversation, of course, but if I had to pick, I think it's going to be Dahlin.
We got Mr. the Quinnet. He's going to vote for Lion. I would say he's in the conversation. Definitely the best. You mentioned it, and I agree. He's buying. I don't think he's just the best off-season goaltending signing in franchise history, considering the circumstances around what this season is and what it means to fans. I have to imagine that he might be one of the best signings ever in franchise history offseason.
For sure. 100%. Someone said earlier, they were talking about trades. Is Sam Carrick one of the best trades in franchise history? Probably not. Daniel Briere was mentioned by Matt Beauvais online. I think that's a really, really good one. Dinah Zubers had a really big
I think
impact.
We just got $1.99 from Rakeem Davis.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
I think that's what that means.
Now that we're
monetizing. If that is what just happened, you are the very first super chat donation to the
show. Put it towards the playoff fund. That's gonna buy a Keystone Light.
Oh man, Rakeem, if you are in Buffalo and you come down to Fatty Beer for the watch party for the first away game, if again weather permitting and everything, I will take that $1.99 and I will buy you a beer with it.
Let's go.
That's so cool. That's cool. I bookmarking that timestamp, no doubt about it. We got a lot of Alex Lyon comments in here.
Yeah, and I think the only reason I would say that his case is a tiny bit diminished is because how good Luukkonen has been as well. They kind of not necessarily steal votes from each other, but if Lyon played the Lions' share of games, if he had, I would say 10 more starts than he does, and that was partially because of injury, I would say his case for MVP would be a little bit greater, but I mean, he's absolutely in the conversation, especially how good he's been in the past month.
It just, I feel like, he makes the big saves and he makes the saves. He just doesn't make the big saves. He makes a save when you need a save. Like, you don't really,
He's so calm.
yeah, I mean, he brings a calming presence. I feel like the team is, and this isn't a shot against Luukkonen. It really isn't. I feel the team plays differently in front of both goalies. It just feels that way. I mean, he had what, 23, 24 saves tonight, with the exception of that early, but like, I feel that they're not afraid to take chances, more or less, with lying out there, because they know they have a guy who's going to bail them out. And Luukkonen's been fantastic. UPL's been fantastic. Yeah, he's going to lay an egg every once in a while, but for the most part, I mean, you could argue this has been the best goaltending tandem in the league.
Yeah, and referencing Jesse Granger's article from the other night, the only other possibility that I think has been close is probably the Islanders with Sorokin, and I think it's Rittich. I'm almost positive is their backup. And Sorokin's been the best goalie in the league this year without a doubt. He's, I think, probably the runaway favorite to win the Vezina. But to be in that conversation of the best tandem with a guy like Sorokin leading the charge for the Islanders is pretty impressive.
Yep. Rakeen says bet he'll be there. He's local. Well, so I don't know if you follow me on any social media platform, Rakeen, but make sure you send me a DM. I think Connor mentioned he'll be there for that watch party. Hopefully, obviously given what your status is when you'll be home, but you'll absolutely, we'll pay that $1.99 back and buy you a beer at Fatty Beer. No doubt about it. And appreciate any super chats or donations to the show. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty fucking cool, man.
We're $1.99 richer than we were 5 minutes ago. And
yeah, I know.
It's staying up on your case until 1:30 in the morning, you thought it might not be worth it?
Oh, Ricky made it worth it.
I've got news for you, buddy. You're $1.99 richer.
Oh, yeah. We're going to pay it all back, guys. So to kick it back to our sponsors, thank you again to Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, get to Fatty Beer. Let them know we sent you over here 2 Goalies on Mike, whether you're pre-gaming for the Sabres game, watching a Sabres game, you went to the game, you need a spot to celebrate, go to Fatty Beer. Let them know the boys from 2 Goalies on Mike sent you. Sometimes we're even doing live shows. We will be doing a live show. Again, weather permitting, and again, start time of the game will be crucial too. But there will be a watch party permitting those things at the Fatty Beer in Lancaster, shutting down all of Main Street, putting up 2 giant screens at each end of the street, street vendors, food trucks, the works. We did this for Bills games. Fantastic turnout. It's going to be a huge party. We're going to have our own party in the village of Lancaster when the Sabres are on the road. Please make sure you make it. It's going to be a blast. I promise you. And it'd be cool to hang out with some of you. Cliff Murphy with $1.99. Fuck yeah, guys. Oh my God.
Wow.
Here we go.
That's Cliff. If I'm not mistaken, that would mean we have $3.98.
Can you well, it says, I don't know how this works. It says $1.99 super sticker.
I don't know.
Shit.
I don't join the streams of these streamers. I
appreciate it.
I'm too old for this stuff, but
I don't know.
I appreciate you guys.
Regardless, I appreciate the shit out of it. Can you name a team that has more deep what's that word? I'm sorry, I can't.
Utilitarian.
I'm sorry, yeah, my eyes are shot. And adaptable value since the Anaheim Ducks in that is a fantastic. Was that the Jaguar team? That was the Jaguar team.
Yeah, really good word.
Jaguar.
Really good word, by the way. Utilitarian.
Yeah, love that word. Yeah. Let's be real. Like I remember that team vividly. That was one of my favorites. Like that team, and then the Tampa Bay team with St. Louis and LeCavier. Those are 2 of my favorite non-Sabres teams ever to watch, because they just grinded out wins. They won with speed, but they could run you into the boards. Both those teams were fun guys to watch, and I love a good underdog goalie. And I wouldn't say they're like Hobby Bullen and Jaguar were underdog goalies, but they certainly weren't like marquee names. You know what I mean, Hurls? So I love watching. I love that comparison.
An underdog goalie with equipment the size of a sumo wrestler, J.S. Jaguar. I think he was the main reason that the NHL had to cut back on the measurements of goalie equipment because of how big his chest protector and his pads were. He took up the entire net, and he wasn't that big of a guy. So that's what I remember from J.S. Jaguar, but I was a little young to specifically remember everything about those teams. I do know that those potential Stanley Cup final matchups, had they made it in 06 and 07, I think 06 would have been the Oilers, and then 07 would have been the Ducks. I think those would have worked out favorably for those Sabres teams. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, and it's easy to say now, given that they didn't make it. But those teams were so good, as we just saw with those season-by-season point standings and records. I really do think, had they gotten over that proverbial hump into the Stanley Cup final, that they would have performed to the best of their ability. A couple utilitarian groups, if I'm not mistaken myself, those 06 and 07 Sabres teams, as this one is as well. They do a lot of things really well. They're extremely resourceful, as we've said for a long time. They can win in a variety of different ways. And it is another good SAT word, an amalgamation of different skill sets on the Sabres team.
Duane, should I call off work for the Sabres watch party? Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do, and I want you to lose your job, but if you can come hang out, yeah, sure, absolutely. Just don't blame me if you get fired. If you get a little loose at the watch party and you get caught by your boss. Cliff Murphy, did we answer your question? I think we got that right. Again, I had somebody in the chat ask, how do you donate? I don't know how. So maybe if Cliff or Rakeen can tell us how, he can let you guys know. We'll stick around for a few more minutes. We gotta, I'll see if I can pull up the post game quotes, and I'll let Curls get to his final thoughts. I have no idea how you donate it. It's done on YouTube. That's all I know. I liked your tweet from earlier in the game. Beck Malenstein's without a doubt the cult hero of this Sabres group. Onions and sandpaper. I loved that tweet. Because he reminds me a lot of Brad May. And I think a lot of people who grew up in my era of Sabres hockey might agree with that, who got the opportunity to watch Brad, because they both fight. May would hit you with his right hand as hard as he would hit you with his left hand as hard as he could hit you with his right hand. He was such a good fighter. And anytime I've seen Malenstein fight, you come out of it man, he threw some bombs, and he can run you into the boards. You have to look over your shoulder when he's on the ice, a lot like what May was. But he has some skill to his game, and he can score goals. He can. That one goal he had, what was a week or two ago, where he
he's had a few incredibly skilled goals this season. He pulls the rabbit out of the hat when he needs to, and then the rest of the time he's usually laying somebody out into the boards and playing the physical heavy game that he was brought here for. I think people can remember the uproar that was made when they gave the second round pick for Beck Malenston, but that's looking pretty good right now.
Yep. Mr. Whitnett is a resident of White Plains, New York, thus making him a Rags fan. Well, it seems like he's here with us after every single Sabres game, so I'm pretty sure he's a Sabres fan. Listen, we have a $4.99 super chat from Ricky Fresh. I genuinely see us winning the cup this year in any Game 7 series. We're winning all day. We will do it better than the 2019 Blues. Q Gloria. What's our song? What's our winning song? Was that with Gloria? The Blues?
I saw a good suggestion today. It was a Sabres edit, and the song behind it was "The Dog Days Are Over" by Florence and the Machine. It is a really, really good song that I've liked for a long time, that I think is really popular. I'm not necessarily sure in terms of the mainstream music scene, but they have a really devoted cult following, and obviously the feeling and the sentiment behind the dog days being over for this franchise, I think would speak really well to this team. It's upbeat. It kind of builds as it starts. It's got a really cool beat to it. I think that's a good suggestion, and I just saw that today.
I agreed. Full blast, Ryan Full in here with $1.99. Duane, keep at it, bro. Depew alumni, one of my favorite defensemen to play behind, and can also a guy who can run you into the boards. play a little dirty too. Ryan, he definitely did play with a chip on his shoulder. And we had some good years in beer league too. So hopefully some more to come. So thank you, Ryan, for the $1.99. Again, I think that's how this all works. I don't know. We got another $99 from M Fisher. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Holy shit, man.
We're gonna be rich.
Yeah, we're gonna be rich. All as Dan, for the wrestling fans out there, as Dan Housen would say, all the human monies. All the human monies. Hurls, your final thoughts, bud.
I just saw the stat related to the 40 game one that I was talking about earlier. 32 6-2 in their last 40 games. No team has had more wins in a 40 game stretch of a season since the 1995 Detroit Red Wings, and they had 33. To compare this team to Red Wings teams of the mid 90s, early 2000s, legendary teams with Hall of Fame players, that is what the Sabres have accomplished. It is NHL history over the last 40 games. And it is, as you said earlier, it does leave you speechless, but I think all of us can appreciate it for everything that this team has been through, everything that we've been through, remembering these late games that they would lose 5-0, that they wouldn't be in the game from the first shift of the first period to absolutely dominating every single team that they play. And not necessarily domination tonight. It was more of a well-rounded game, obviously really, really. And they scored when it mattered most, especially in the second period. Getting a 3-goal lead, as they've done so often this year, is super important in any hockey game. My team last night, we were down 2-0 to, in my opinion, an inferior opponent in the second period. And I had that thought in my head. Had they scored that third goal, that potentially could have put it out of reach. But we made it 2-1, got it to 2-2, and we eventually won the game 4-2. So the third goal is really important in any game, no matter what it is, to make it 2-0, 2-1, and whatever it is. But yeah, they did a really good job at that. And also scoring first. They have been so unbelievably good at scoring first this season, and that is super important in the grand scheme of a hockey game. So super excited for Saturday. I will be in the arena at crypto.com. I'm also playing on the same ice the Sabres play on afterwards in a beer league all-star game. Hopefully I run into the boys in the hallways. I will be down there, I think, with 5 minutes left in the third period. So hopefully we see them coming out after a big win, and maybe they'll even catch some of my my scrimmage on the ice there. It would be a dream come true.
That'd be sick.
But I'll be in Anaheim as well. So if anyone is going to the games out here in Southern California, hit me up. We're going to have a really, really good squad, and we are going to keep this road trip and this warpath rolling on.
Duane, a quick 20 seconds on Hell in a Cell in 1998, just because you're a great dude, Cliff, and you donated to the cause. Yeah, that was Mankind Undertaker, where Mankind went up the top of the cell. One of the most famous moments in all of wrestling history. Some say may have helped WWE win the Monday Night War. Mankind, also known as Mick Foley, also known as Dude Love, also known as Cactus Jack, put his body on the line twice. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you know the scene. Mankind getting thrown off the top of the cell through a table. They take him out on a stretcher. He runs back into the ring, climbs back on the cage, and then Undertaker choke slams him through the top of the cage, through down into the ring. And when he gets up, his tooth, one of his teeth curls, goes up into his mouth and comes out his nose. And he finishes this match with thumbtacks all over him. But he, you can almost compare that to this Sabres team, honestly. Go back and watch it. What some of these guys and what the players on this team are willing to go through to win a hockey game. You have your Sam Karish, you have your Beck Malensteins, your Samuelsons this year. The beating these guys are willing to take to get a win. Yeah, we got a lot of Mick Foleys on this team for sure. From M. Fisher, fun fact, I did the Dude Love dance when they scored to make it 3-0 tonight. I love it. I love it. Do you got anything else, Earls? Or we good for tonight?
I've got work in the morning as well, and it's gonna be a long weekend, so I think we can wrap it up.
Yep. So we will talk to you guys later. Sabres win 3-0. All hail the Lion King. Love you all. Thank you so much. And as always, can you address No, we're not gonna. I don't know what comment we're talking about next time. We'll talk to you guys later. And as always, go Sabres. See you.